What's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? We're down here, ICAST 2024, Tackle Warehouse first look, and we're probably at my favorite booth, if not everyone's favorite booth down here in Orlando, Florida. We're at the Shimano booth with our man, Alex Wetherell, here to talk about some awesome new additions to the Curado and Expride rod lineup. Why don't you go ahead and take it off and show us what's up with the Curados, man?
Yeah, so we have two new additions to the totally redesigned Curado series of rods. One of them is a 8-foot extra heavy swim bait rod. So this is actually up to 6 to 8 ounces that you can use on this rod. So it really allows a lot of versatility from something that's smaller all the way up to your real big baits. It allows a 8-foot heavy action rod for just a really versatile swim bait rod. And you can either do some other things. You can either flip with it as well. Our second rod we have is a 7/6 medium light. So it's a spinning rod, but it's a 7/6. It's more for that deep finesse, right? You want something longer for longer casting, maybe like a hair jig up north, or even something down south, where you want something with more leverage, that longer rod that you can really get a better hook set in that deeper water. That's what that 7/6 medium light Curado is gonna do for you.
Awesome. You mentioned all the action on them too. I also just wanna call out real quick here, they look clean. Like that design, the X-Wrap going up the blank there, the EVA foam on the bottom there, the reel seat, top to bottom, a clean looking rod. That gets us right into the X-Ride, one that I throw a lot and I'm super excited to talk about.
Yeah, so I throw a lot of these as well. This X-Pride series is one of my favorite series in this. So let's just start with, this is the 7.3 heavy. Now this also has a solid tip to it. So it's unique in that this bait casting rod has a solid tip in that first foot of the rod. This is really just for more of like a swim bait, a swim jig setup. So some of the solid tips we have on the spinning rods are for like that forward-facing sonar. Well,
sure.
Similar speaking, like when you're throwing a swim jig, you really want to work that bait through. So that solid tip on this 7.3 heavy is going to allow you to work the action of that swim jig without moving it too quickly through the water column. So that's number one. Number two is this 7.4 heavy. So this is more like a parabolic jig rod. It's just a really good all-purpose 7.4 heavy action rod. I actually personally also like it for chatterbait. You know, I like a longer rod.
Sure.
It gives you more leverage. Make sure you get a good hook set in it, especially when there's like open water, something like Florida, when you're in that deep grass. That parabolic action is also good for chatterbait. And then third, something I'm really excited about is they added a deep cranking rod. And this is a 7/10 deep cranking rod. So you know what that means? It means really long distance casting, as well as it has the backbone so that when you're working that crankbait all day long, you're not gonna get worn out. A lot of crankbait rods are too soft. This has a soft tip so you're not gonna lose fish, but it has the backbone so you're not gonna get fatigued after a long day.
Awesome. That one might not make it back to the display. That one might have to come home with me. That sounds absolutely awesome. That's the new additions to the X-Bride and the Curado series there, available now for pre-order at tacklewarehouse.com. Up next, we've got something super exciting. The brand new redesigned Poison Adrena rods, casting and spinning.
Yeah, so we actually completely redesigned the Poison Adrena. Here's what they did. It's not JDM. It's actually geared directly for the US. So the actions, the lengths, everything is geared directly for the US. And they have a lot of versatility in the lineup now. So they have a bunch of casting rods, right? The traditional medium heavy, heavy action, things like that. We also have 2 glass rods now for deep, cranking, or if you even want to use it for chatterbait. And they also have 2 solid tip spinning rods for your forward-facing sonar,
Absolutely.
Which is ever so popular. So
I hear.
Yes, and it's a spiral X-core blank and rod. So what that is, it just, as you can see, like it's a really thin rod, really lightweight, but you'll see the actions are really true to what they say. They're not light, they're not soft. The actions, if it says it's a medium heavy, it's a true medium heavy, but it's extremely lightweight.
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing I did want to call out here that I noticed was the hollow back monocoque handle there.
Full
I
monocoque
don't know
handle.
If you guys can see that there, the hollow full monocoque handle. That thing just makes it absolutely light. I mean, this setup in my hand is one of the lightest I've held in a long time. I love it. So.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites, and I love the fact that they added a couple glass rods to this series as well. I've been prototyping using that forward-facing sonar rod for a little while now, and I absolutely love it. The carbon monocoque is nice, not just because it's in the handle, but it's also up where the reel seat is.
Awesome.
So you have direct contact to that blank, and you can feel every single bite.
Awesome. They've got that available in spinning rods, casting rods, even a few BFS models for you guys that are getting into BFS stuff. All that is available now for pre-order at tacklewarehouse.com. All right, guys, next up, we've got something that's going to cater to a newer style of fishing, but has quickly become a lot of people's favorite, a very popular style of fishing. This is the all-new Zodias BFS series rods.
Yeah, so we actually added a second one. We have a medium light, and this is now the 7 light action BFS.
Awesome.
Here's what's really cool about that is it just caters to that ever-growing BFS lineup, right? BFS is getting more popular in the US. We now have a light action rod for that. High Power X construction, CI4 plus reel seat. I'll tell you what, I've actually started to play around with this bait casting setup for forward-facing sonar.
You're not the first person I've heard mention that. It's taken the place of a lot of that spinning reel and spinning rod setups that can throw the light baits. Yep. Something about the muscle memory with a casting rod is not only more fun, I think it might be more applicable in some situations.
A little bit more efficient, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is going to be a new addition to the Zodias BFS. That's a 7-foot light. That's going to be available for pre-order at tacklewarehouse.com. Next up, we've got the Shimano SLX XT. This is not the newest reel, but they put a lot of new technology into this new edition.
Yeah, so here's what's cool about this, right? Really popular reel. It's amazing quality for the price. They've now taken Silent Tune and added this into the SLX XT. What does that do for us, our viewers, right? What Silent Tune is it's small little springs inside of there that hold everything together. It takes the vibration out of what you're feeling. So now when you're reeling it, it feels that much more smoother. Absolutely. In a super affordable reel.
Yeah, like you hit on right there, not only is this reel visually and aesthetically pleasing, feels great in the hand, cast well, retrieve is super smooth, boasts lots of drag to hook up to big fish, but it comes in at a very affordable price point. That is the new SLX XT, available for pre-order at tacklewarehouse.com. Next up, I think we saved possibly the best for last. The all-new revised Shimano Vanford. I'm a Vanford guy. I've caught hundreds of fish on Vanfords. Probably some of the biggest fish I've caught have been on a Vanford. I love it, and I can't wait to see and hear all about what they've done in this new revised model.
Yeah, I'm a Vanford guy too. I love it. I think there's a ton of value for the price at this range, and they took all of that reel and added even more technology into this. So 5 new things in this Vanford spinning reel. Number 1 is a Duracross drag. So it's as smooth as felt, but it's a lot more durable as well, so it's going to hold up over time. Number 2, Infinity Drive. That's just going to be a smoother rotation of the handle when it's under load. 3 is the Infinity Cross. That's evenly distributes the weight across those gears, so they're more durable over time. You don't feel that geary feeling down the road. It stays consistently smooth. Number 4 is the anti-twist fin. That just takes the twist out of the line. It keeps the line from falling underneath that spool and getting hung up. And number 5 is the MGL rotor. So it's a lightweight rotor, which does 2 things. 1, easy startup, doesn't take any effort. And 2, especially with forward-facing sonar, it doesn't take anything to be able to control that bait. You can easily move that as much or as little as you want. All of that technology now brought down into the Vanford.
That is absolutely incredible. And like all Vanfords, super lightweight. I don't know if it's any more lightweight than the other Vanfords, but something about it just feels better, man. It is absolutely awesome. I'm pumped to get my hands on one. That's the all-new revised Shimano Vanford, available for pre-order at tacklewarehouse.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up with the Shimano guys. Alex, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. You guys go ahead and make sure to head over to the website and check out all the new ICAST releases.